Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mitt podcast, episode number 138. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about power structures and dealing with people's egos. And this is an incredibly important subject. So much so, out of all of the other episodes we had, while they're very valuable, this might have the greatest impact and learning lesson than all of them combined. Because no matter the level of business or life that you're at or the point that you're in your career, this is going to make a really, really big difference. And just before we get started, a couple different resources to continue to help you guys grow. On Tuesday, I'm having a free training for entrepreneurs, business owners, and startup founders. So if you are one of those people, there's a link below where you just put in basic info and you can register. It's going to be via Zoom on Tuesday the 21st at 5 Central. So I'd love to have you guys there. Super excited about the training. And also, I'm sure you guys have noticed, I've been getting so many different DMs and messages about the daily affirmations that we've been posting. One of the things I kind of had a realization on about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago is that tactical knowledge is extremely important for life and business, but everything falls back on mindset. And training your mind to be in the best state and to look for the best things and create the best opportunities is super important. And I've been using daily affirmations for over a decade now, and it's changed my life for the better. And so I just wanted to provide a 2-3 minute quick segment every single day for you guys. So I hope you've been enjoying it. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend doing that every single day, maybe while you're driving to work, or maybe while you're having a quick workout, or just any time you need maybe a pick-me-up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on today's topic. So knowing and understanding power is one of the key things to being able to move up in life, become financially successful, provide for your family, and ultimately even do what you love and be around great people. You know, I used to assume just because someone was older that they were smarter or they didn't have a big ego, or they weren't threatened to lose their job because they had all this credibility and experience. But as I got into the work world, and I started, not only becoming an entrepreneur, but working for other people, I realized how fragile grown people's egos are and how scared everyone is to lose their position, to lose their credibility, to look bad. And business is tricky, especially in the corporate world, because everyone speaks in this fake character profile where everything is professional, you never say the wrong thing. But just because it's said in that manner doesn't mean that there isn't power dynamics, that there isn't jealousy, that there isn't egos at play. In fact, I would argue that those who are extra professional and always saying the right thing are actually the most threatening and the quickest to betray. Early on in my life, this was a huge mistake that I made personally. I was naturally a hard worker, and everyone told me that, the harder you work, the better you are, the more successful you'll be. So I said, okay, cool. I'm motivated. I saw these great videos of Michael Jordan working hard, Kobe Bryant working hard. And so when it came to sports, I was like, I'm going to let this coach know that I want this more than anyone, that I'm going to work harder than anyone. I'm going to show up before. I'm going to stay later. I'm going to do everything and any chance I can to show my skill sets. I'm going to do it. And it was interesting. Now that I've learned these tools, I can even think back to little league sports. Guys, little league sports. I'm talking like 10 to 12 years old. And certain coaches and even parents and even other players resenting me, being, having kind of some jealousy or not wanting me to succeed because I was so focused on showing everyone how smart or how good or how hard I've worked. And it made people resent me. It made coaches try to make me look bad. It caused me to miss out on opportunities and lose positions and lose scholarship offers. I even had one time in high school, a couple universities that were coming to visit me. And I made the mistake in high school of overly showing my head coach, who was actually a really great head coach, how much I wanted it. how hard I was working, how smart I was. And it kind of killed our relationship. It's human nature that it causes people to oftentimes sabotage you. Because if I'm the smartest person and I succeed and I'm showing everyone how talented I am, does that make him look good or does that make me look good? It makes me look good, not him. He's a head coach. And so I had to learn this power dynamic. And when I had a lot of these schools come and visit me, they're like, hey, Grant, we're so excited to see you, man. They'll probably call you out of class. I'm like, perfect. All of a sudden they'd get to the school, they wouldn't call. I would see one of my other teammates go to the head coach's office and talk to them. I'd call the coaches, they wouldn't answer. That was my fault. I could sit here and say that it's not fair that the coach did that to me, but it's just life. Life is not fair. And I saw this early on in business, and I started studying power. I started studying how people move up in the world, how people became rulers of nations, how people became CEOs, how people became star athletes, star musicians. And I realized that I have been making fatal moves. The first step to handling power, and we oftentimes think that, oh, Grant, I won't need to do this until I become an entrepreneur and I own my own business. Or if I get a massive job at this big company. If it's a small business, it's not the same. Guys, you could be working at McDonald's and it is the exact same thing. You could be working at corporate, or you could be within the top 5 most powerful people of a country. Power structures are all the same. You think just because someone's a billionaire that they're different than the manager of McDonald's? It's the exact same thing. Both of those people feel similar feelings. So the first thing that you want to do is understand that every single person, from the intern to the manager to the vice president to the CEO and to the chairman, all has egos. They all have egos. And they all are following their self-interest. So a simple rule is in every conversation, every speech, every victory, and every challenge, always protect the egos of the people around you. Now, how do you do this? It's different for each level, but I'll give you an example. If you're a manager and you are training a sales team, and you're on a Zoom call and you're practicing saying the script in a certain way to prepare for the meetings, instead of stopping the sales rep and going, hey, you got to do this better, you got to do this better, you got to do this, I need you to change this, I need you to change this, okay, start over again. I might be able to get away with that a few times as a manager, but after a while, what's going to happen? Even though that sales rep is brand new, he's been in sales for 5 years. He used to be the top sales rep. You see what I'm saying? All these ego thoughts that a natural human's going to have. They're going to start resenting the manager because every time they get on, what happens? That manager makes them look bad. They're going to talk bad about you, and they can likely sabotage not only your leadership, but your credibility and the overall success of your team. So let's backtrack. Let's say that sales rep that's new, or I don't know, even if they've been there for a long time, let's say they mess up and say the wrong thing. Always start with a compliment and then relate to them and then coach them. So I'd say, first off, I want to say, Mike, your tone is incredible. And that's something that not only is a superpower, but it's something that takes a lot of time to develop, and it's something that you just do naturally. That was one of my actually weak points when I started off in sales. I was very monotone. And so one of the hardest things to actually coach sales reps on is what you do natural. So I first want to say that your tone there sounded incredible. But one thing that I noticed there is this and this and this. And I actually experienced the same thing when I started off. I was like, man, why would I not say it like this? And then we actually figured out that it causes the homeowner to feel this and do this and do this. So I want you to kind of say that one more time. Your tone's fantastic, like I'm saying, but try to say it this way instead. You see what I did there? I stroked their ego. I related. I didn't act like, as a manager, that I'm on this big high horse and I'm better than them. No, it's like, I actually thought the same thing. I went through a similar experience. Let's just try it like this. And then once they do it and they sound incredible, you hype them up. You're like, let's go. And everyone on the entire Zoom call is hyping them up. They're like, hey, amazing job. And then when that person goes and closes a deal and implements it, you make a big moment, have the person talk about what they learned, talk about the experience, which then connects that person to you, causes them to respect you, and protects their ego. That is with someone that is at the same level, but primarily lower level than you. Okay, like they work for you. The next thing is dealing with upper to middle management, but not the actual king or CEO or top leader. Okay, these people are often the most fragile. They are constantly worried about being liked and being respected. And they typically are the most hungry for power. These people can be either your greatest assets or your greatest liability. And how you deal with them is unbelievably important. I made this mistake early on as a sales rep. I would go show everyone how great I was because I wanted to get promoted. I wanted to become a manager. But what did my first manager think? They're going, this guy's going to try to take my job. So they weren't inviting me to events. They weren't inviting me to his house. And I quickly learned. We got a new manager. I changed my entire strategy. What I would do is if I needed help on certain things, I would go out of my way to ask them. I'd say, I'm going to call him Johnny. I'd say, Johnny, man, you've been a beast in sales for years. I'm having this issue. Could you kind of walk me through how to handle this? And I'd say, hey, let me practice this. Let me know how I sound. Be honest with me. I don't care. You can grill me. I just want to get better. And then when it would work, and let's say they'd call on you and say, hey, tell us about that deal you just closed. Well, it was this and that and that, and this happened. But what actually really helped me is I had a one-on-one with Johnny yesterday, and he actually picked up that I needed to work on this and this, and I implement, I kid you not, I instantly closed. Now, I took all the attention from me. People are still going to think I'm a good sales rep, but they're going to be like, oh, wow, that's awesome. I'm not appearing as threatening to the group, but everyone then looks at the manager and goes, man, I need to get coaching from them. Now, what happens when this manager gets a promotion or the CEO or the vice president ask about you? Do you think they're going to say good things? Do you think they're going to say bad things? They're going to say great things. They're going to say, you know, that kid is amazing. He's humble. He's coachable. He listens to everything that we say. He's a great team member. He's incredible. Because what happened? You became an asset to this leader because your presence alone makes them look better. If you don't do this, they will actually sabotage your success. And we can argue and we can complain about how that's not fair, and maybe it's because of what you look like, because that oftentimes it's just simply because we're overly showing how talented we are. Okay, and at the highest level, everything that you do, you have to credit them. You have to credit their leadership. At any level, both Democrat, Republican, or any country, if you notice the closest people around the president or prime minister or king, anytime they have a successful thing, they could be the Secretary of State, they could be the Secretary of Defense, they're always going to say, because of the president's leadership, because of this leadership, because of this. They always say this because they understand power. It's like a rule. If you're going to come for the king, you better not miss. Because you miss, you're going to end up killed or in jail. And maybe in today's time, your career will just be sabotaged. Always wait your turn. Be loyal. And if you're going to strike for the king, you better not miss. Okay? So let's talk about a second thing. The higher the title, the lonelier people typically are. Even if they have great friends that are also really successful, powerful, well-known, whatever the case may be. For your specific team or organization, there's few people the highest level leaders can truly talk to about their situation. When you become a business owner or CEO, everything falls on you. Your decisions affect tons of different people who have kids, who have families, who have wives, who have husbands, who have family to take care of. And it's very hard for you as that leader to relate to anybody else. You can utilize this to your advantage by not overly showing how talented you are and building a real personal relationship with those who hold power above you. Checking on them, be like, hey, I just want to check on you, man. How are you? Good. How's everything going with your family? How's your kids? Like, good, man. I just want to check on you. I'm not telling you to do this to gain power and take their job at all, but to be an actual good person, to help them feel safe and have people that they can trust around you. And in due time, you will be given the keys to the kingdom. You will also move up and have strong trajectory, and you'll have alliances of the strongest possible people in your organization. Build real relationships. Don't tell them that you want to be successful, that you want their job, that you want to be this and you want to be that. They ask you what you want to do. Man, I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of looking to things. Really right now is I'm just soaking in everything that you're teaching me. I've learned more from you in the last 6 months than I feel like I have in the last 6 years. So I'm just thankful for that. I mean, what about you? What do you think? Do you see anything that you think would be good for me? You let them tell you. And even then, they say, oh, you could be here. And you're like, I think that would be possible. That would be interesting. I would do it if this and this and this. So you're kind of dancing around it. Because the quicker you're trying to attack and take territory and conquer this and conquer that is when you become a threat. You have to be slow. You have to think about what drives that human being. You have to think about what are they worried about? Why would they feel threatened? When you do those things, you're going to achieve heights of power. All right, third, everyone is always following their self-interest. You sometimes assume that just because a person has high morals, high integrity, because they say the right things all the time, because they seem and act perfect, that they don't have self-interest. It's completely a lie. Every person has self-interest. And learning what drives each person will give you a competitive advantage in business. The secret is that when you win, it has to improve the self-interest of everyone around you. When someone becomes a president, when someone becomes a CEO, it's typically because them becoming that person, that role, benefits the most important people or the people directly around them the most. It's not always because they're the best, the most experienced, the most well-liked, but simply because it benefits those around them the most. Power is not fair. Business is not fair. Money has no feelings and doesn't care what is right or wrong. It just moves because of energy and focus. Always know what drives people. And if you always think about what the people around you want, you will always move up in life. You will be protected, and people will like you, support you, and protect you. Right? So I want to do a quick meditation. And I want to talk about a couple different things. I don't want to meditate on power, but I want to focus on confidence, certainty, and really getting our minds in the right state to have an incredible week and have tremendous success. So this is a good time to find a good spot to sit. If you're walking, you can definitely still meditate while you're walking. I want you to take a big, deep breath and breathe out. And I want you to start taking breaths in and then breaths out. And I want you to have a very controlled, relaxed breathing. The goal here is to relax your mind, relax your body, and get into a theta brain state, which opens up your subconscious, relaxes you, and allows you to do the inner work to make the necessary changes. So I want you to focus on breathing in and breathing out. And I want you to do this for about 2 minutes. And I'm going to let you know when to adjust this. And if you lose attention, you start thinking about something that happened last week or today or last month, it's no problem. Just bring your attention back to your breath. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. In this moment, you have absolutely every single thing that you need. You're lacking nothing. You're confident. You're successful. You're fulfilled. You're chosen. And you're favored. You're at peace. You're loved. And you have absolutely incredible people around you. So just continue to focus on your breath. stay relaxed, and stay calm. Now we're going to go to the affirmations portion. When you breathe in, as you're breathing out, I want you to repeat these affirmations after me. Okay, breathe in. I am confident. I am certain. Success finds me easily. Abundance flows to me effortlessly. I am respected and loved by those around me. I am tactical, decisive, and focused. I put my ego aside when dealing with others. I lead others with confidence and certainty. I make those around me lives better. I am blessed. I am confident. I am certain. I am successful. Now, you should still feel super relaxed right now, very calm, your muscles relax. And I want to go to the visualization portion of this meditation. I want you to visualize you walking into an office. It's filled with employees, maybe coworkers, whatever you choose. And the second you walk in, you're immediately greeted with respect. They're excited that you're there. You make incredible positive impacts on the lives of every single person around you. Picture you sitting in your desk. What does your office look like? What does the view look like? What are you wearing? Do you have a watch on? Do you have a suit on? Do you have a dress on? What are you wearing? How does it feel to be leading other people with confidence, respect, and certainty? Now I want you to act like you're logging into the company bank account or to your personal bank account. What do you see? How much money is in there? How much is your company earning per month? How much are you making at your job if that's what you're doing? How successful and happy are the people closest to you? How respected in your field are you? Okay, now I want you to act like you're walking on a stage. And in your mind, picture what you're wearing, how big is the crowd, and they're announcing an award for the success that you have. How does it feel? How confident and relaxed are you? How much admiration is everyone giving you? How does it feel to be an incredible success? What speech are you giving? What are you saying? What does your family or your friends think about your success? How much people are you impacting and helping? And I want you to notice how this feels. Because you are this person now. In this very moment, you are lacking nothing. You have everything that you need. You're blessed, you're favored, you're successful, you're confident. Everything that you want already exists in this very moment. The world doesn't need to change. We do. When you grow from within, when you do the necessary work every single day like you're doing right now, everything that you want will come to you effortlessly. These opportunities, these people, they're longing for you. And you are already this person. So I want you to take a big, deep breath in, open your eyes. Meditation is so powerful. And even though we had more of a tactical conversation today about power, which is needed because you have no choice, you have to deal with other people to be successful. It's always important to make sure that internally we're always in the best possible state, that we're confident, that we're certain, that we're moving the right way. Because when we are, we can give our family, our friends, our coworkers, our employees, and the world our best self. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you enjoyed it, post it on your story, share it with a friend, comment below. Every time you do, it pushes it out to the algorithm to help another person. As always, I'm rooting for all of you guys. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys again for episode 139. Thanks, guys. Cheers.